The podcast industry is selling you a lie. There's a new wave of podcasters flooding YouTube, and their starter pack? $10,000 burned on studios. Hundreds of hours lost on gear and editing. And still, 9 out of 10 never land a single guest worth listening to. Why? Because the truth is more like a secret that no guru will tell you. That's why only a few creators are producing Netflix-level podcasts without spending a single dollar. And most of them are going for true crime podcasts. Why? That's what I am going to tell you next. And then I will show you exactly how you can also start a faceless true crime podcast channel without using any costly equipment and without inviting any heavyweight guests. Ever wondered why people stay up until 3 a.m. binge-watching psycho thrillers or true crime content? There's something almost addictive about suspenseful stories, mysterious investigations, and shocking plot twists that keep viewers glued to their screens. True crime isn't just popular, it's obsessively addictive. That's why this niche consistently ranks among YouTube's most engaging categories. People don't just watch these videos, they form communities around them, they theorize in comment sections, and they eagerly wait for the next episode like it's the season finale of their favorite show. If you don't believe me, there was an infamous video uploaded on YouTube years ago where a man was suffocating kittens to death on camera. People from every corner of the world watched that, looked for the killer online, researched a lot. Eventually, these people got to know each other, shared everyone's findings which sped up the unofficial investigation, and finally, they solved the case and the killer. When they told the police, turns out, that guy was already wanted, not for killing kittens, but for murdering a man. Later, Netflix made a bone-chilling documentary series on it. So the point is, this is the power of true crime content, and that's why people love it. Besides, the beauty of true crime is that there's an endless supply of material. Every day brings new cases, cold cases get reopened, and there are thousands of historical mysteries that haven't been covered in podcast format yet. But there's one key thing that makes some true crime podcasts successful, while others just fade away. Most people pick a niche like they're throwing darts while blindfolded. They pick random cases based on what they personally find interesting. Then, they wonder why their videos get 12 views, and 8 of those are probably their brothers watching multiple times. And this is where Skywork AI becomes your unfair advantage. You might have heard its name for the first time, so let me break it down for you. Skywork is an AI tool that handles everything from podcast script writing to audio production and visuals like slides, charts, graphs, etc. It handles smart AI search, music and video tools, chat agents for social networks, and AI for work productivity. But the most standout feature is the super agent. It can scan hundreds of web pages, read files, make music and images, run code, and put everything together. It works on its own, fixes its own mistakes, and usually finishes tasks in 5 to 25 minutes. So anyway, you can literally ask this AI platform to analyze thousands of existing channels. From the output, you can easily identify trending opportunities with rising audience demand. Let me show you how this works. Live on Skywork AI. First, open Skywork AI's general agent and type something like, "Suggest profitable niches in true crime podcasts on YouTube with rising audience demand." Within seconds, you get data-driven insights that show you exactly which sub-niches are exploding in popularity. Let's say the AI identifies unsolved mysteries as a hot trend. You can then dig deeper by asking, which unsolved true crime cases have the highest growth in search and engagement over the last 12 months? This means you are not doing anything based on guesswork. You are gathering real data and making strategic decisions based on that. The AI might reveal that serial killer content has high search volume and long watch times. So now you have just picked a niche that already has proven demand. But knowing what to talk about is only half the battle. The real thing happens when you find out what your competitors are doing right and how you can steal that framework from them. Most creators spend months trying to figure out what content performs well in their niche. They watch dozens of videos, take notes, and try to spot patterns manually. It's exhausting, time-consuming, and honestly pretty unreliable because human memory isn't great at processing large amounts of data. But Skywork AI turns this tiring process into a simple conversation. You can ask the general agent to analyze top YouTube channels in unsolved true crime and show their best performing videos, average watch time, and posting frequency. The AI then looks through all the competitor channels and presents you with a detailed breakdown of what's working and what isn't. Like this. It will even tell you what kind of stories get the highest viewer retention, which thumbnail styles drive the most clicks, and even which areas are underserved in your chosen niche. For example, you might find that channels focusing on 1980s cold cases consistently outperform those covering recent crimes. This is just an example. These insights can literally make the difference between a video that gets 500 views and one that gets 50,000 views. Even with a great topic and knowing your competition, your content still needs one key thing to really grab people's attention: an engaging storytelling. This makes the difference between a boring documentary and a gripping true crime podcast. Yes, it isn't the case itself. It's how the story is told. You could take the most fascinating murder mystery in history and make it sound like a boring history lesson if you kill all the suspense and thrill. Traditional script writing for true crime content is an art form that takes years to master. You need to understand pacing, suspense building, cliffhangers, and dramatic reveals. Most people create scripts that read like police reports instead of engaging stories. And this is where Skywork AI can help you. Instead of struggling with storytelling techniques, you can feed the AI multiple sources about your chosen case: articles, police reports, court documents, witness statements, and it automatically converts them into a compelling narrative with natural suspense and dramatic timing. It's simple. Just gather up to 50 sources about your case, then upload them directly to Skywork AI or paste relevant links. The AI doesn't just summarize information, it creates a podcast-ready script with proper flow, tension building, and those crucial cliffhanger moments. Or you can just say the name of your topic, specifically if it's a famous one like Jack the Ripper. Skywork will first research on it, then it will create a podcast script, then it will produce a podcast voiceover. Here, you need to keep in mind one thing. The script of a podcast is quite different from normal narration. Its voiceover is also different. Both should be more like a conversation or a discussion instead of spitting facts. Sometimes, it may not be uniformly moving from one event to another like normal documentaries. There might be some personal opinions of a character, verbatim expressions. You know, these things make a podcast more human than a documentary. Now, when you are doing it using AI. So, you have to keep an eye on this. Once both the script and voiceover are generated, you can check them. In my case, they sound totally natural, as if two specialists are discussing true crimes. But since it's a podcast, this is not enough. We need to level it up how I'm going to show you now. When I first discovered this method, I was creating mostly mediocre content. Then I stumbled upon this audio conditioning trick, and suddenly my videos started hitting 5-figure view counts. You will see how this changes the whole presentation of a video. Fire up Filmora and drag your podcast audio into the timeline. Now, play your audio and listen carefully. Notice how the conversation flows between speakers? That's your roadmap. When the female voice says something, that's where you make your first cut using the split tool. Then the male voice jumps in, and that's your next cut point. Basically, you need to properly split and separate all the male voice parts and female voice parts. And then, drag all the male voice sections to the bottom audio track. Keep the female voice on top, or vice versa. But beware, don't change the timing of anything. I repeat, don't touch the timing. The moment you mess with timing, your video becomes a hot mess that you can never make it right again. Our next trick is something more interesting. Now take your female audio group and split it into chunks of 25 to 30 seconds max. Why? Because AI video generators have a dirty little secret. They work best with shorter clips. Go over 30 seconds and your video quality drops. But remember, all the breaks must sound natural. Don't cut anyone in the middle of the speech. When the female voices are cut into 25 to 30 second pieces, export each clip individually. Name them female 1, female 2, female 3, and so on. You'll soon realize just how helpful this precision is. Anyway, do the exact same thing for the male clips too. This step alone puts you ahead of 90% of creators. Only if you handle the next part equally well too. Okay, this is where things get exciting and challenging too. You're about to create realistic characters that exist only in your computer. Head over to ChatGPT and ask for detailed image prompts for a female podcast host and male guest, or vice versa, depending on your voiceover. The AI will give you detailed descriptions. Take these prompts to any AI image generator. I use Leonardo AI with the Phoenix style setting and dynamic mode. Here's a pro tip that saves hours of frustration. Always set your aspect ratio to 1:1. Square images work best for these things. Download the images you love because you're about to bring them to life. Now go to Hydra AI, and this is where the real story begins. Upload your female character image, import your first female audio clip, keep that 1:1 aspect ratio, and hit generate. In about 60 seconds, you'll have a video of your character speaking your exact words with lip sync. Repeat this for every single audio clip, both male and female. Yes, it's repetitive. It takes time. But this is the difference between amateur hour and professional content that actually gets watched. Save everything with proper names and sequence, because now we will go for editing. Open Filmora, create a new project, and import all your generated videos. Set your project to 16:9 aspect ratio, because that's what the YouTube algorithm gods prefer. Then, drag your first female video into the timeline, then scale it up to about 150% and position it on the left half of your screen. Add the second female clip right after the first one, applying the same zoom and position. Continue this pattern for all female clips. You're building the left side of your conversation. Now for the male clips, place them on a separate video track above the female track. This makes alignment easier and your timeline cleaner. Position each male clip on the right half of the screen. Remember, you should be matching the timing with the audio gaps you can see in the waveform. Here's a common problem you'll face. The story might start without the male character since he doesn't talk right away. But the solution? Find a male clip with a long pause, copy just the pause section, and paste it to fill the gap. Problem solved. Now group all your clips together once everything's aligned. You can add filters, adjust colors, or throw in some effects. I usually raise the gamma to about 20 to get a sharp, clean look. But since this is a podcast video, transitions aren't necessary. And just like that, you've created a podcast video that looks like it was filmed in a professional studio with 2 real people. Creating content is only half the battle. Getting people to see it is where most creators fail, because their titles don't attract people. Generic titles sound like True Crime Podcast Episode 1 and go unnoticed. YouTube decides whether to promote your video in the first few hours based on title, thumbnail, and early engagement. Strong titles and thumbnails get a good reach. Weak ones bury your content. So your title must spark curiosity and include searchable keywords. For example, instead of writing, "The Jack the Ripper Case," give it a title like, "Unsolved Mystery, Jack the Ripper, The Secret Scotland Yard Never Revealed." With that, the video's description should feel like a movie trailer. Intriguing, but not revealing everything. Add keywords naturally, cite sources for credibility, and use tags like #TrueCrime, #podcast, #mystery to guide YouTube's algorithm. The final step is turning casual viewers into subscribers. Creators who build lasting channels focus on community, not just views. One-time viewers help, but subscribers, who look forward to every upload. Make content creation sustainable. True crime audiences are especially active. They share theories, debate suspects, and spread content. You just need to encourage this from the start by ending episodes with questions like, "Who do you think did it?" or "What really happened that night?" Reply to comments, especially theory-driven ones, to boost engagement and signal value to YouTube. Use polls on case theories, let viewers vote on which case to cover next, or invite them to suggest local mysteries. This turns passive viewers into invested community members. As your channel grows, add interactive elements. Begin with simple case coverage, then scale to richer storytelling, multiple voices, and multi-part mysteries that keep audiences returning week after week. So, it's proven that you don't need expensive equipment or celebrity guests to launch a professional quality true crime podcast. Just tools like Skywork AI make it possible today. YouTube is already pushing true crime content to interested audiences. So, the real question is, will you start now or keep delaying? If yes, what are you waiting for? In case you need some more help, just let me know in the comments below. I will either reply or try to make an elaborative video on that, explaining things. And subscribe to the channel if you want to get some more unique niche suggestions to start a channel. See you soon.